Morning, Dr. Wilson.
Morning.
Iya, kita tunggu lagi sekejap Kak atau macam mana?
Ya, kita tunggu sekejap lagi. Ya, saya tengah panggil dia orang, mungkin 5 minit.
Oke, dokter. Ya, ya.
Okey, ya. Hai, Fazil.
Tapi doktor kejap boleh minta apa? Minta admin untuk rakam sesi.
Ya, admin akan rekam. Puan Halija ada di sini.
Okay, ngam.
So Puan Halija akan rekam, and then for those who cannot attend, so we will send the recording to them lah.
Ngam.
Kan?
Baik.
Yeah,
Bolehlah kita start sudah.
yeah. So first of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank PEP for organizing this valuable workshop. So we all are looking forward get to know more about the new system that we're going to use in the coming semester. All right. So without further ado, I will pass the session to Puan Eugenia.
Hi all, can everybody listen to me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I hope it's clear, yeah? All right, so I'm going to share my, hold on, I'm going to share the screen. Okay. Okay, so can everybody see the screen that I'm sharing?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Okay, so good morning everyone to IPB Penyelaras, Dr. Wilson. Okay, and I can also see Dr. Mylene is here also this morning to join us, Timbalan Pengarah Academic for IPB. Okay, so today I'm just going to go through a bit about Mooc. Because probably some of you might be interested in having Mooc courses online. Okay, so I'm Eugenia and I'm the coordinator for Mooc and OER under PEP, Pusat e-PEMBELAJARAN. So today I'm just going to go through briefly on how do you need to create your Mooc and also a bit about Creative Commons, and also get to know the latest application on how you need to go about the to apply for Mooc courses. Okay, all right. So first things first, how do you need to create Mooc? What are the minimum requirement for you to open up courses in Mooc? Okay, so we need your landing page, your laman promosi, on how do you need to promote your course. Okay, definitely you need to provide us the course information. For example, course synopsis. Okay, you need to have one paragraph of course synopsis. What is the course about? And then you need to let us know what is the learning outcome. Okay, so towards the end of the course, students can learn about what. Okay, so the duration, you need to indicate whether it's 4 weeks or 4 weeks or 14 weeks. Okay, so it can be 5 weeks, 6 weeks, but the minimum weeks to open up Mooc courses is 4 weeks. Okay, all right. So the level, okay, you need to tell us, is this course for a beginner or is this course for intermediate? Okay, so you need to let us know on that. And then the fee for now, it's free of charge because we are still parked in our own LMS platform. The server to park our Mooc for the public is not ready yet. JTMK is working on it and we have the platform already. The server is still in progress, okay, because we are going to park Mooc in a different server but still using ITEL, okay, so that one. And then because all these other universities, they are using open learning, okay, Coursera to open up their Mooc, okay, to sell their Mooc. But us, we want to use our own server, so we have to wait for JTMK to give us the green light to go into to go for the public So for now, for our students, it's free. Okay, so image of the course, just come up with an image to have the course image, okay, to indicate that that's the course image. All right, so that is for the landing page. Landing page is also what we know as laman promosi, okay, to promote your Mooc. Because when people go into that Mooc platform, and then they will see a lot of variety of courses to be offered, and then it will look like this, okay? So a sample from Putra Mooc, okay? We got the sample from Putra Mooc because I feel that that's the most friendly Mooc, okay? But they are parked outside under open learning, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so this is Titas Tamadun Islam course, okay? So this is only 4 weeks. If you can see there, the length is 4 weeks, but the duration to finish up everything, it's 8 jam sahaja, 8 hours. So we know that in a week time, you only spend like for 2 hours for one particular week. Okay, so yeah, intro video you can upload as well. So we just put like that. Okay. All right, so that is about laman promosi. So when we go into the main page, okay, once we click that, it will be directed to the page, okay, the course. So the main page, right on top of there, you should provide your greetings, your information, the teachers who are teaching. It can be in a group, it can be pair work, or it can be in a group of lecturers to teach one particular course. Okay, so just provide the lecturer's name. Okay, because in PPSD we have a group of teachers who are actually doing that Mooc course. Okay, so they just list down who are involved. Okay, so teaching schedule, if you have any face-to-face meeting with the students, you want to meet them, okay, just provide your schedule, okay, your teaching schedule. When are you available? And then this is the link for you to meet up, okay? So introduction video, just now in Laman Promosi page, the previous, this one, okay? So it can be in a form of 30 seconds to 1 minute video to introduce what can they learn about the course. Okay, so you can just provide course synopsis, explain a bit. Okay, so up to you, up to your creativity on how you want to do your introduction video. So ice breaking, it can be F2F, just like Google Meet. Okay, it can be in the form of a Zoom meeting. Okay, or it can be in a form of Padlet where you ask the students or the learners to, create a video to introduce themselves. Okay, so that one you can do it on your own, up to your creativity again. So that is for the first block in that page, okay, for when you want to create a Mooc course. Okay, that is the most important thing that you need to have in that main page. Okay, so the topics, okay, some lecturers prefer to call their courses by topic. Okay, they like to introduce their courses by topic, and some prefer to call it week 1, week 2, week 3. Okay, so minimum 4 topics or weeks. Okay, if you want to open a Mooc, you cannot open only 2 or 3 weeks, cannot, but we give you the minimum number of 4. Okay, just like Putra Mooc. Okay, maximum would, yeah, you don't need to exceed to 14 weeks or 14 topics. So just have maybe 8 topics or 8 weeks, okay? So yeah, do not go for more than 14, okay? So learning outcomes, it must be emphasized in each week and or topic, okay? So that one. So the course content. So it should be one original video from you where you do the teaching, okay? So minimum 1 video, 1 week. But this video, it can be minimum 3 minutes to 10 minutes, okay, but not exceeding 10 minutes. Okay, very short video. If you feel that your video is too long, break them down, make them in 3 minutes video. Okay, all right. So at the end of the video, you need to have your information of who are the presenter and the developer who is working with you to create that video. Okay, so acknowledge them. Okay, and make sure there's no sensitive issues on politics, religion, also racist remarks. So disclaimer alert should be in any of the throughout the Mooc courses that you have that you open. It can be at the beginning of your course. It can be in the main page. You can just put in a bit of disclaimer alert, or right towards the end of the course. Okay, so at least once, okay, you should mention it at least once in the space, in any of the space provided in your Mooc course. So all works should be featured, should feature Creative Commons license. Okay, so we don't want any copyright or published work to be put in your Mooc, OER, or even ITEL. If possible, everything should use Creative Commons license. If you want to park materials in ITEL, in Mooc, or and also this OER, okay, because we want to share free license materials. Okay, all right. So activity, since we open 4 weeks or 4 topics of Mooc course, there should be a minimum of 4 activities throughout the course. Okay, so 1 activity for 1 week, that is the minimum. You can have more than 1 activities in 1 week. It's up to you. Okay, it's up to you how many activities you want to put in. Okay, it can be linked to other websites where students can do a self-learning or self-practice. Okay, so just provide the link and then attribute them. TASL, using TASL, TASL. Okay, I will let you know what is that. Okay, so assignment, again, throughout the 4 weeks, you need to have a minimum of 4 assignments. You can have more than that. Okay, if you want to test whether your students really did learn something from the course, okay, from the short video, okay. So it can be in 5 items or 10 items of quiz, okay. So that one per week, okay. So that one, this does not have to do with your full-time course, yeah. Okay, it can be any other things, or probably you want to take your 14 weeks full-time course. Maybe you take one topic and share it as Mooc, also can. Doesn't, yeah, it's okay. All right. So extra reading. Okay, so in our application, the previous application, we didn't put extra reading and also reference and acknowledgement. But if you want to put in extra reading and reference, that will contribute to the rubrics that we have to actually fulfill the minimum requirement to have your Mooc courses published. Okay, so if you want to put extra reading, which is something that is outside from the website, so you need to, or this extra reading can be in the form of video as well, for example, YouTube. So you need to actually do some reference and acknowledgement, yeah? So this extra reading, you can actually link, for example, click here, okay, then the word here, you hyperlink it to a different website for them to do some extra reading or to view some extra resources or materials. Okay, so this extra reading is part of the rubrics for your Mooc to be published. Okay, you need to have these two. Okay, so that one. Okay, I think for the content, all right, the step-by-step minimum requirement, that is all. Okay, we do have the templates. Okay, so if you want to apply, you apply first, let us know, then we will share the template. Okay, all right, so Creative Commons is the license that you need to use for all your materials when you want to park things in OER, you want to park your materials in Mooc courses or your ITEL, okay? So this is the license that you need to use, okay? So we usually see this. I think Dr. Kenneth is the expert on this, Creative Commons. Okay, he has talked a lot about this during the past roadshow, and the YouTube, Pusat e-Pembelajaran YouTube, Dr. Kenneth is still there to, the video is still up there to tell you more about Creative Commons, but I'm just going to go through this one briefly because we have a lot of things to talk about for ITEL and PTG. Okay, so CCBY, okay, as you can see, this is compulsory. You must always credit me. So when you see this CC and this icon, then that means you need to attribute the author. Okay, so this one, okay, use it but don't make money. Okay, so this one you cannot sell the material, even open a course and then you use the material, also not allowed. Okay, non-commercial. So non-derivative means you cannot change the materials, okay? You need to copy, you copy 100%. Do not change whatever that person say. Do not paraphrase what the person say because they don't want you to change a single thing, okay? That is non-derivative. Okay, your version must equal to mine, no changes, okay, including the license, yeah? So share alike, you can change the material, you can paraphrase, you can edit the material, but you need to repeat the license. So if you see the symbol, that means you have to repeat the license, yeah? Okay, it's not about the materials being shared similar. This one is the thing, okay, equal. Okay, okay, so what we want you to, when you open up Mooc, okay, we would definitely love you to use these three. Okay, this one, this is for public domain. Okay, it's free. Okay, it's when people see this, okay, they will be happily to share, to do all these, yeah, up to them. Okay, how do they want to have that material? So here, this tree, they can copy 100%. They can even change the material. They can even use it for commercial purpose. Okay, so these three. So these are the three accommodating license, free culture license that you can use for your materials to have your materials to be shared by the whole world. Okay, so this one, okay, a bit restrictive because they don't allow you to use your material in your courses. Okay, let's say for example, your Mooc now is free, but later on you feel like, oh, I think I'm going to start charging. Okay, so this one definitely you cannot use. Not, yeah, cannot if possible. Okay, so you can copy, you can adapt. Okay, so that one, and then this one is a bit restrictive, and this is considered as not a free license. Okay, because you cannot change, you have to copy 100% as it is. Okay, so this is copyright. Okay, so these three, this 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Okay, I do not encourage for this one to be parked. You can use this in your class. Okay, you can use this in class, but do not park it in OER if you have any license like this. Do not park in OER or Mooc. Okay, you can just use it when you have your face-to-face classes. But then again, be careful when you share your materials with your students because maybe one day they decided to, you know, when you use this and then they decided to sell, and then legal issues will come up. Okay, all right. Next, okay. So I'm going to share how do you need to apply Mooc. Okay, there's a Google form for you to fill, and I think it's being shared by Zul in our website, in PEP website. So I'm just going to present this one. What? Okay, I'll present this one. Okay, never mind. Okay. Okay, so how do you need to register for Mooc? Okay, previously, we ask you to fill in template and then you design your Mooc later. But for now, what we will ask you to do is to design as you review the documents that should be inside. Okay, how do you need to register for Mooc? So we give you an ample of time, 6 months, to finish up completing or designing or developing your Mooc. Okay, if you have 14 topics or 14 weeks, then probably we give you more time. Okay, so first things first, you need to fill in the Google form, inform us who are the reviewers, so then we can you can work with your reviewers, because we need to give them their appointment letters on reviewing your Mooc. Okay, this letters, it's really good for our LNPT. Okay, it's, I think, recognition under SMPPI. Okay, so you will receive email from us on the link of your platform, your Mooc course platform. Okay, we'll give you a fresh page for you to create your Mooc. Okay, and then notify us. Okay, when reviewers give feedback. Okay, notify us on the changes that they think that you should do. Okay, there you will have to select 2 reviewers to this is internal, yeah. If you want to have someone from outside, then you let us know. But there's no we don't give honorarium to the reviewers, but we only give surat lantikan, appointment letters, yeah. So that one, so we give you probably 2 months maybe to amendments. Okay, so after that only, when your penyelaras, okay, Dr. Wilson will let us know whether your courses has already fulfilled everything, because we have the template similar like table 4, but it's not table 4, it's totally different template. Okay, so we will give you and issue you a letter saying that your Mooc course is up and running already. Okay, so your status is published or not, we will let you know via email. Okay, so you can share after that. After this, then you can only share it with your students. Okay, the link with your students. Okay, all right. Any questions? Okay, so I'm just going to brief you on this. How do you need to share your work and have that license in your material? Yeah. So what you need to do is to go to creativecommons.org and then click on share your work. Okay, and then choose a license, get started. Okay, so when you go through here, okay, when you say yes, then allow adaptations of your work to be shared. Yes, then CCBY. This is still free. If you say no, then this is not a free culture license. Okay, so they will change. Which one you click on, they will change. Okay, so still free. So do you allow commercial uses of your work? Yes. If no, then they will change. This is not a free culture license. So what you need to do once you have done that, then just copy here and then paste it on your paper. Okay, on your Microsoft document or pages. Okay, so this one is A, S, and then L. Okay, Tessel. All right, so the title of your work, okay, maybe you can say document. And then your name, okay? So document by Eugenia is licensed under, okay? So it will keep on changing here on this side. So maybe you can put your URL for the OER, okay? Okay, and then no need, okay. Okay, so, okay, so you can just do this, all right, so that it's easy for other people to actually to attribute you your work. Okay, so you want it to be compact. Okay, it will be like this. Normal icon, it will be like this. Okay, okay. So that is how do you need to get your license. Okay. So this is something that images that is free for you to browse through. Okay, and then to check whether this is the license. So when you go to google.com, you just click on you type butterfly, and then you search, and then you go to images, then you click on that image, and you have this. Oops. And then you have this license details. Okay, license details. And then when you click on license details, it will direct you to here. Okay. All right. So this is no copyright. So this is for the public domain. Very free. Okay. This is very free. Public domain. Public domain dedication. So no copyright. So this is still free culture. And you can use it. You want to change it. You want to crop it. You want to write something on the butterfly. It's up to you because it's free. Okay. All right. I think that's it from me. If you have any questions, stop. Any questions?
Hi, morning, Eugene.
Yeah, hi.
Eugene, yeah. All right.
Yeah, okay juga.
Thank you for your very informative talk lah. Yeah, I mean we welcome Mooc, but there are several questions I wish to ask lah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because if I look at the Mooc from MIT, Stanford, and also University of Manitoba, the origin of Mooc, they definitely basically can avoid a lot of copyright issues by having the lecturer just on the blackboard, a whiteboard, and record the lecture and upload that lecture. Then that will be, of course, everything is original. There's no issues. But when I look at the more of a Malaysian thing, it's more fancy, a lot of graphics and things like that. Does UMS allow we to practice the American style, or even the Canadian style? That is to give the lecture on blackboard and then record it and upload it as Mooc. Yeah, just your comments on this. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Clement. Yeah. Actually, it's up to you on how you want to conduct your videos, but just as long as whatever things that you share, or you need to make sure that there's no something that you share, you don't have any copyright stuff. Okay, since it's blackboard, then I think there's no issue. Okay, but if you take something from a published book, then there will be some issue. Maybe you share something from the book that you want to share in a video, then I think there will be a problem. But I'm not sure. Probably you can ask Dr. Kenneth, because he has this a Mooc under Commonwealth of Learning. Yeah, that is international Mooc. Yeah, for park under Canada. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I presume we have to wait for Dr. Kenneth to give comments on that. Okay.
Yeah.
The second thing is really about, you mentioned about reviewer. What is the role of the reviewer actually?
Okay. The role of the reviewer is to take a look at your materials. Yeah. Sometimes the reviewer will say, oh, your activity doesn't sync with your whatever you are presenting. So I think that's subject matter expert as well. Yeah. So make sure the reviewers are from the people from the same field of the courses that you are opening in Mooc.
And the last thing is that, like, for instance, we can upload the Mooc. Then how about removing it? Is it within our right to remove it anytime as well?
Removing, that's why we encourage Mooc courses to have something that is things that you feel like you don't have any changes for that period of time. Okay,
Yeah.
for a longer period of time. Let's say, for example, that one particular topic you don't have, you want to share about some basic things. Okay, so maybe you can just put in as a short Mooc, and then you have it 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
probably you can separate that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because what I'm asking whether you can remove it immediately. For instance, sometimes although there's a Creative Commons, there's a lot of understanding of that. No, there sometimes somebody took somebody copyrighted thing and put it under Creative Commons, no, and you use it, and then eventually the original owner will write to you to say that you are using infringing my copyright. If the authors cannot immediately remove that, then they are bound to legal actions by the originator of the graphic. Yeah.
Okay, removing can. I think Zul has the right to open up your Mooc to edit some work. Yeah,
Mm.
that one can. If
All right.
there's any problem like that. But then again, we will have to go through your penyelaras to check whether there's any copyright issue.
All right. So, okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I can see from Dr. Nur Atira, most of the time our recorded lectures are uploaded in YouTube. Is there any platform? Oh, okay. All right. So, Dr. Nur Atira, OER is there. Okay. You can link. You don't want to put in YouTube. You can put in your Google Drive. Okay. And then link it to OER. So you can share whatever things via that OER link. So you can see how many hits. So that one can function as you can see the statistic of how many people have uploaded your video in that duration. Okay. Does that answer your question, Dr. Nur Atira? Okay. All right. Any more questions? Okay. I think, Encik Amin, are you ready?
Yes, I am here, ready. Thank you, Puan Eugenia. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having us this morning for the Roadshow. I hope you can hear me clearly from here. My somehow the line is not very strong at this faculty right now. Okay, so thank you. Right, so before I start with the roadshow this morning, let's watch something that we have prepared for you. I mean the ITEL and PTG launching that we had earlier this year. So maybe we can show you here the video so that you can at least see how the implementation or a little bit on the ITEL as an introduction before we start with my presentation. Zul, are you ready with the video, Zul?
Introducing a learning management system, ITEL, version 4.0, University Malaysia Sabah. ITEL at UMS Interactive, Innovative, Technology-Enabled Learning. The UMS Learning Management System is part of the Digital Learning and Teaching Space Initiative. ITEL at UMS was developed with the joint efforts of the Department of Information Technology and Communication, JTMK, and the Center for E-Learning, PEP. Introducing you to our new look. Experience new heights of education. Reach out to the most competent and passionate mentors. Great learning experience. Categorized activities or resources. Make it easy for users to add materials according to learning objectives. We will send you a notification to keep you updated. Addo Editor. Enhanced accessibility for screen readers and keyboard navigation in Moodle's text editor. ITEL. Learn remotely from anywhere.
Thank you so much, Zul. So that is a little bit introductions on ITEL that we will introduce next semesters. So meaning to say that starting from next semesters, we are migrating from SmartEMS to ITEL. So beside that video, we also have prepared for you another video, the facilities that we have in PEP, which is the iStudio, where you are welcome to do your recording for Mooc. At the moment, it is free for you, and we hope that you could book your session with us in PEP to record your lesson or your teaching in using the facilities that we have. And we have all the facilities, and we will somehow manage that for you. And at the end of the recording, your video should be ready to be uploaded in the portal, especially in the Moodle, especially if you are going for the Mooc. And also if you think of doing other recording, we are also welcome you to do that with us in the studio, but we might charge you for that. So right now the iStudio is free for Mooc recording, and we have here for you. Perhaps Zul, can you proceed with the video? Thank you.
Get ready to take your video to the next level with our expert videography services, now available with green screen technology. From product demos to corporate interviews, our green screen technology enables us to seamlessly integrate any background, making your video look professional and polished. The Center for E-Learning, UMS, is proud to announce the launch of the Video Recording Studio, which is currently available for the whole staff at UMS for the express purpose of creating video content for lectures, training, and professional video creation. Here are some example videos that PEP Studio has created.
Hello and good morning everyone. Salam Malaysia Madani. I hope all of you are doing well. Welcome to this course.
If you have any questions, please email me, paulpeso@ums.edu.my. See you in the next lesson.
The perfect shot is just a booking away. Reserve our green screen service today at PEP Studio, UMS.
Thank you so much, Zul. So that is our iStudio that we are open for you anytime, but make sure that you book beforehand, because there could be like waiting list that we have to go through from others lecturers in UMS. So right, so I would like to share my slide here. If you could give me a few seconds, we will work on that. Okay, can you see my slide here, everyone? Okay, right. So my part is to introduce to you what is ITEL. Basically, we have seen in the first video how ITEL is look like, the interface and everything, and all the icons and all the properties that has in the ITEL, that comes with the ITEL. So when it's come to the implementation, here is where the use of ITEL and PTG. So I will touch a little bit on PTG later, since we are moving towards the PTG, pembelajaran teladun gantian. So we need to understand what PTG is all about. It's supposed to be presented by Puan Sami, but Puan Sami is not well and on medical leave right now. So I will try to cover that part for her later. Right. So in we all this while we've been using on the Smart UMS. So Smart UMS has been with us for many years, and now we are migrating to ITEL, which should be the beginning of a new discovery in digital technology and how we use this interactive digital embedded technology in our teaching and learning. So meaning to say we are also migrating from the application of 1732 to 40-40-20. So what is 40-40-20? 40-40-20 is based on the student SLT. 40%, 40%, and 20% of the student SLT. So I will talk about that later on. So don't worry about that one so much. But the thing here is that I would like everyone to know at IPB is that the implementation, the migration from Smart UMS to ITEL will be implemented in next semesters, but the implementation of PTG, pembelajaran teladun gantian, will be implemented in the next session. So now we are here for the roadshow in IPB to create awareness towards PTG before it implemented in the coming session. So what is in ITEL? The implementation of ITEL, we are looking here at the quality. Quality should be our biggest concerns here in teaching and learning. So if in when we were using Smart UMS in the previous years, so most of the time most of us has, I would say, sorry to say that, misuse the LMS, and there were a few of us who have turned our Smart UMS into a dumping ground by putting most of the text informations, contents, and everything, just dump everything inside there in hoping that our student will log in and read. But what happened was the percentage of student engagement in Smart UMS is quite low compared to other site that they log into. So we don't want that to happen, because I have done a little bit of a survey with the students when I noticed that there were a few of us who were dumping notes, like 300 over inputs, 200 over inputs in the Smart UMS. When I look through those, of course, there are assessments and notes and all those things. But when I check the engagement, it's not much of the engagement of students that I can find in those activities. So it shows to us that the engagement of students is very low in that aspect, and it's just happened that I know these courses and lecturers and these students, so I just call them and just have a conversation with them, asking about Smart UMS, how they go about with their Smart and UMS, and they told me that there are too much of those things that they don't know which one to read, and some of the notes or text that been uploaded is they don't understand what it's all about. That is one. And another thing is they do not know which one to read, because there's abundant of those things in the section or in the particular weeks. Or so it's quite impossible for them to read all those and to participate in all those assessment or activities. So they tend to, if the other friend has download some of the important notes, so what they did was just ask the other friends to pass the notes to them, so they don't have to log into Smart Games. That what happened all this while. So we don't want. I'm not talking about in a particular faculty or institute, but in general, that what happened among our students. So that shows that we have lesser or low participations among the students. So we don't want that to happen. So in order to solve that problem, so we come up with the idea of interactive teaching and learning activities, or interactive digital content for them to participate. Hope that they could engage in the activities and increase their knowledge or experience in that particular aspect or area. So therefore, we at PEP came out with this idea to have three components: digital content, TNL activities, and e-assessment. When it's come to e-assessment, e-assessment doesn't mean summative. It can be formative, or it can be both. So you may use the e-assessment as summative and also a formative assessments. Meaning to say, it can be graded or not grade without grade. No, so it's up to you. So for the summative, the reason that we are giving summative assessments is to get so that the student can get grade from that. And for the formative, is more on the aspect of understanding and monitoring their knowledge and understanding. So that is about e-assessment. While digital content here is where the core thing should be in. I will show you some of the example or suggestions that we have for each of these components later. So moving on from here, this is how or what I have mentioned earlier on the PTG. With the example I'm giving here is 3 credit hours courses. I'm not so sure, Dr. Wilson, do you have 2 credit hours in your institute, 4 credit hours other than 3 credit hours, or all the courses are 3 credit hours, Dr. Wilson?
Yeah, I think we have different credit hours. Yeah, we have 3 credit hours, and then we're going to have 4 credit hours courses as well.
All right. So later on, I will show you a similar table on the different. So meaning to say you don't have 2 credit hours, yeah, Dr. Wilson?
Yeah, we had 2 credit hours before, but then we are converting to 3 now.
Good. All right. I mean, okay, it's fine. So because we have prepared the 2 credit hours, 3 credit hours, and 4 credit hours tables. So right now I'm using 3 credit hours because most of our courses here in UMS are 3 credit hours. Okay. Excuse me. So for the PTG, based on the PTG which we will be implemented in next sessions, this credit hours is divided into 40%, 40%, and 20%. So what is 40, 40, 20? 40, 40, 20 is referring to, for example here, 30% of PTG. This is what is 40, 40, 20. 40% of learning materials is equal to about 14 hours. 14 hours of learning activities and 8 hours of e-assessment. This is equal to 36 SLT, whereby 30% times 120 hours is about 36 hours. So meaning to say from 120 credit hours, SLT that the student should engage in, we are taking 36 hours from that 120 to implement PTG. So PTG is pembelajaran teradun gantian. So it is gantian. It's not supportive. It is substitutions. Yeah? So this is two different concepts that we have to understand in Smart UMS. What we have practiced before PTG is support blended learning, but in PTG is not support. Support blended learning, but PTG is substitute blended learning. The differences is support what we have learned, what we have teach them. We support that in our Smart UMS. While substitute is we substitute us as a lecturer in the ITEL. 30% UMS has endorsed that, diluluskan by Senate, that 30 to 79% implementation of PTG can be endorsed by the faculty or institute or centers. So that part is actually it's not us in PEP decide for you, but the kedekanan and the TDAA and all that top management of the institute has to decide that for the institute, either to go only with 30%, 40%, or 50%. So what does this 30, 40, and 50 means? 30% out of 120 credit hours to conduct it on PTG. PTG substitute, meaning to say you don't have to be there face to face in physical with the student. We need to understand this. It is also not a synchronized. Synchronized means you, like we are having right now, is synchronized on Webex or Zoom or Google Meet or whatever platform that you are using. That is not PTG. PTG, you can record your lectures for 45 minutes, that is equal to 2 hours, and then embed or upload that in ITEL. And you, at that time, you could be in your office, or you could attending a conference. You can be anywhere around the world, London, Melbourne, Paris, or New York. But your class is on in that particular day, on that particular week. That is including your tutorial, is including your lectures, your everything, the whole topic for that particular week. That is PTG. So if you are engaging online like this, like what we are having right now, that is not PTG. Okay, we are supporting. This is us supporting. Okay, it's not substituting. Right. So these are two different concepts that we need to be understand with. So what we did last time in Smart UMS, that when we were away, we replace our class by having it online. Right. So I'm sorry to say this, but that is the wrong thing that we have done. We did wrong thing that because there is no guideline, there is no panduan stated in UMS saying that we can replace that using the online while we are away. but PTG has a very clear section saying that we can replace that. Right. So mind us that this PTG is not just in UMS. In fact, we are among those very last university implement PTG in University Awam in Malaysia. So we have to go with PTG. That's what I mean. Okay, because we've been postponing it for quite some time already, and so PEP would somehow, we're supposed to implement PTG next semester, but there's some a little bit of complication here and there, especially when it's come to table 4. So we tend to leave it for another semester. So that is why we are thinking the best way is to implement PTG next semester. I mean, sorry, next session, not semester, but I tell it's next semester. Right here, I will talk more about this one later, but just a little bit on if we are going for 40% of PTG, meaning to say the hours of learning material would be 19, 19, and 10 for the e-assessment, and you can conduct it for 5 to 6 weeks. Of course, this SLT calculations in table 4 would be 48. While if you are going for 50%, so that means the increase numbers of hours is as stated here, and you can go for 7 weeks with 60 SLT taken from 120. Right, all these things are very important because these are the numbers or the weeks that the hours that we have to put it in our table 4. So when it's come to table 4, we are aware of that. We have to complete our table 4 before the starts of the semester, the lectures, and it need to go through the program will endorse that and everything. The KPU say yes, go, and then TDAA will say yes, go ahead with this. So it requires planning. So what I mean by planning is we need to plan beforehand for the next semesters to start where or which topic that we planning to have PTG, because PTG needed to be indicated in table 4. That is number one. That is very clear. And we have to let our students know that these particular topics, this particular weeks, the lesson will be conducted as PTG. Okay, meaning there will be no physical or face-to-face contact, not even through the synchronized way. So I hope this is clear. Is there any question before we move from this table? Yes, so you can type your questions in the chat box. Okay, right. So since there is no question about that one, so we move from this to the next slide. So this is where what I have mentioned earlier on the digital content, on the TNL activities, and on the e-assessment. So let's go one by one here. This is based on 3 credit hour courses, 40, 40, 20, when we implement PTG in the next session. So PTG, I mean, digital content under PTG should come with 40%, 14 hours, equal to 14 hours of the whole 4 weeks. So you can use like video, lecture notes, infographic, short articles, journal article, but we have to be very careful here when you use the video, because make sure that your video is 10 minutes maximum in one that particular topic. So what is mean by 10 minutes? You can use it 10 minutes or 3 minutes. or the combination of 2 videos, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, or 1 minute and a half or 2 minutes, as long as it's not more than 10 minutes. We know that when we watch too long video, it's a little bit boring, and we tend to move it forward, so it's not effective. Okay, so that is why 10 minutes video is the maximum, and the best should be between 1 and 2 minutes to 3 minutes. That's the best video that we can give. Okay, beside that, we have also lecture notes. So when we upload our lecture notes, there is a calculation for that as well. I'm not really sure here, but we will confirm that later. For example, 15 pages of slides is equal to 1 hour or something like that. And infographic is the best because all the information is compressed and it's just very detailed, and we just put it, upload it that in the ITEL, and it's easier to remember. And of course, short articles and journal articles, as long as we know that student will spend much time in reading the articles and short articles here. So we have to consider that the top priority here is quality, it's not the quantity. Right, when it comes to teaching and learning activities, this is the same calculation as well. 40% learning activities, which is equal to 14 hours. You can have any of those teaching and learning activities that are available, gamification, for example, or you want to have a forum or chat using the ITEL resources, you can use this, or maybe you can use Facebook. You can use any of those, as long as you embed that one in the ITEL. I will show you how it can be done later. And for the e-assessment, I have mentioned earlier that e-assessment can be formative or summative, or it can be the combination of formative and summative. Since we have 4 weeks for PTG, maybe one of those is summative while the others are formative. You can, it is really up to you, because you know your course very, very well. You are the master of your course, and you know your student very well. So these are just the suggestions that we can give you. Any questions about this one? Let me check in the chat. Right. We have one question here from the Atira. How do we measure 14 hours? How many videos, not etc., that fits 14 hours? All right. So, okay. So, this is the for example here, a video is 10 minutes. 10 minutes video is equal to 1 hour. So if you have more than 10 minutes, so it's more than 10 hours. So we come out with the infographic on the hours of these things. Okay, so don't worry much about that one, but I hope that explanation is okay with you. Okay, we move to the next slide. So here is the strategy. This might also answer that question from Dr. Atika. The strategy, how we could implement the PTG based on 40-40-20. Before we start here, there's something that I would like to inform that I am aware that, in fact, we are aware at PEP that not all courses can be implemented based on 40-40-40, knowing that there are courses here in UMS that requires practical 14 weeks hands-on, or 14 weeks face-to-face, and 14 weeks practical to be in the field and things like that. So for those courses, of course, that courses cannot be listed under 40-40-20. and therefore that particular courses will implement 1732. So maybe at that point, when we implement that next semester, next session, next session. So at the end of the year, the penyelaras could identify what are those courses, who are those lecturers, so that we can identify them, and we know that these courses will be implemented based on 1732, not 40-40-20, right? Because it is very important when it comes to the audit part. So we have, it is unfair for that course to if we force all the courses implement 40-40-20, knowing that that particular course required 14 weeks, for example, or 10 weeks, for example, of practical, hands-on, and be at the field and all those things. So for the strategy, this is what we propose. Since 30% is the requirement, meaning to say all faculties must start with 30%. So 30% is equal to 4 weeks, as I have mentioned earlier in the earlier slide. So I just put here like PTG1, PTG2, PTG3, and PTG4, representing 4 PTGs. So for each of these PTGs, you're only required to have one learning material, one learning activity, and one e-assessment minimum. So by calculation, by hours, so it's been one learning material is equal to about 3.5 hours. So and one learning activity is also equal to 3.5 hours, and one e-assessment is 8. So here is 4 PTG, so that is 2 hours of e-assessment. So you know your course very well, so you can play around with this one. You can have, let's say, one video and one videos and one lecture notes, for example, or one recorded lecture notes, 45 minutes of lecture notes. That is very long for the student to watch, but that is equal to 2 hours. And plus, you can we cannot decide this for you, but as long as you have one learning material, one learning activity, and one e-assessment, you have complied with the PTG requirement. So some might say, can we just put the practical? These are very practical for our student and for us too. Can we just put those numbers in the table 4 and leave it in on the paper? So I would say yes, it's really up to you. You can just leave the numbers on the papers, but practically you know your course very well here. So any question regarding that one? I think that somehow answered Dr. Atira's question when it's come to how do we measure the 14 hours. 14 hours here is divided into 4 PTGs here. You see there are 4 PTGs there. So each of that is actually consists of the combination of one learning material for each PTG is equal to 14 hours. That's what it means. Not one PTG is 14 hours. No, the combination of all those 4 PTGs is equal to 14 hours for learning material, for 40%, which is equal to 14 hours for learning activities, and 20%, which is equal to 8 hours of e-assessment, be it summative or formative. Can I move from here if there is no questions? Right. So these are the resources or the activity that you can find in the ITEL. So what makes this interesting is that ITEL has came out, this particular platform has came up with interesting icons here. based on color coded. So you can see here that there are blue, green, orange, and pink. So these are actually the indications of the activities that you can choose from. So most of the blue buttons are for the learning activities, meaning you can choose any of those blue activities for the learning and digital learning, and while green and orange are for the teaching and learning activities, but there are also a few, I think one or two or three blue button in the teaching and learning activities, because somehow they are representing more activities than the learning aspect. And the pink buttons are for the e-assessment. So you can use quiz, workshops, or assignment. Workshop is very interesting, although it's labeled under workshop, but it can be like peer reviewing activities or things like that. So you can explore this later. And we also inviting like 5 representative from IPB to attend our talk, and in that talk workshop, a day workshop, we will teach how to use or how to come with activities, interactive activities for that can be used in your ITEL. And when these 5 representatives who are the mentor for the IPB, we go back to IPB and form their 5 mentor-mentee groups. And these 5 mentors will somehow guide the mentees under them, so that it's easier to work that way. It's closer, and it's friendlier, because you know your colleague very well, and you can help them. This is like helping each other based on mentor-mentee concept. And I really hope to see all those 5 representatives from IPB on the 21st. Okay, so here, as I have said, there are a few blue buttons in the activities, meaning to say activities, teaching and learning activities consist of green buttons, orange button, and a few of blue button. But the rest of the blue buttons are in the learning sections. What is missing here is in this slide is synopsis. Yeah, so we have added synopsis in the latest versions, and to update the ITEL, and you will find that. Okay, a little bit on the how this pedagogy will developed by Alan Carrington might help us in our teaching and learning, and also the activities that we are conducting, and also the technology devices that we can use as interactive teaching approach for our students. Right. I could not. All right. So here, for example, here we have all these taxonomies: create, remember, understand, apply, analyze, and evaluate. And we have, for example, apply here, or apply here. We have all these action words. This can help us as well in our table for how to write our objective and all those things. So you can use any of these action words to indicate the applications that we are using for our CLOs, our objectives, and things like that. And these are the activities that can be conducted, and these are some of the apps that you can use to enhance the students' understanding or teaching and learning. Yeah, so we are moving toward this one. So you can find this somewhere else. There are a lot of apps. There are lots of platforms free, and some of them, of course, you have to pay, and they are like trial. So make use of all this free. At the moment, JTMK and PAP, we don't purchase this any of these apps yet, to have it like a add-on in the ITEL. But what we have in ITEL is good enough, like chat and all those forum, for us to have our activity conducted in the ITEL. So this might help you. You just type Alan Carrington, ALLAN CARRINGTON. Right. This is just the part that in the introduction and how it can be implemented. So I would like to finish this part with these codes. We keep moving forward, opening new doors and doing new things because we are curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. So we are curious every day. So we have to move every day. So that is why the implementation of ITEL means that we are moving towards, we are starting to move forward, and the implementation of PTG means we are moving forward in line with other universities, UA universities in Malaysia, along with them in implementing PTG. So that is all from me about this part, but I will show you a few more slides on the PTG and a table for the PTG. Is there any questions that you might need to, or anything that you might need to know from that part that I have presented? Okay, so perhaps Zul, maybe we can use that slide showing the table. Okay, in answering that question, can you stick with 1732? I can say yes for courses that require full hands-on or practical, and no for other courses, because 40-40-20 is under PTG. So PTG, and this is not from us, that formula 40-40-20 is not from PEP, it is from the Kementerian. So we have to go according to what is required by the Kementerian. Zul, can we show the timeline first, Zul? The timeline, Zul, timeline. I tell PTG timeline. Yep. Okay. Right. So this is how we come with the PTG, pembelajaran seadun gantian. So these are all actually started like from the very beginning in according to of course we have to base it in the PAN and all those things that has been came out from had been developed by the Kementerian, by the ministry. So here it goes actually. So the pelaksanaan pembelajaran seadun in 2019 here, if we look at 2018, bengkel pemantapan pelaksanaan pembelajaran seadun mula diadakan bagi peringkat kualiti pelaksanaan. Isu formula pembelajaran seadun diketengahkan untuk ditingkatkan dan dikenal pasti tiada maklumat yang jelas sama ada pembelajaran seadun sokongan atau pembelajaran seadun gantian. So that is what I mean. So that started from 2018, and then we moved 2018, and then in 2021 here, if we look at 2021, pelaksanaan pembelajaran seadun gantian PTG oleh semua universiti awam di Malaysia kecuali UMS. So we're supposed to start in 2022. and now it's 2023. So we managed to push it, to postpone that, because we know that PEP understands that we are not ready, UMS are not ready with PTG. In fact, we also have that question, can we stick with 1732? Yes, you can stick for certain courses only. Right, so we are moving towards this PTG. PTG is 40, 40, 20. Okay, next slide from here, Zul. Okay, this is how the perubahan definisi operasi PTS and PTG. PTS is what we've been implementing before. I mean now, right now, we are implementing PTS, but later we are implementing PTG. Since 2016 to 2019 kepada PTG 2019 dan seterusnya. Meaning to say, we've been using this formula PTS 1732 down here, yeah, 1732. Can you move your cursor to 1732? Cat box. All right, so we are using this 172, all this while pelaksanaan 2016 to 2019. So by 2019 or somewhere after that, we're supposed to move to 540, 35, 20. So when the KPT said you have to move, UA have to move from 1732 to 540, 35, and 20, we at PEP said, sorry, we are not ready for that. We are still implementing 1732. We are just implementing 1732. And a few months ago, when I talked to my colleague, there will be 40, 40, 20. There will be new calculation formula for the blended learning and all these things. And then they said, what? We don't even understand 1732 yet. And now you are talking about 40, 40, 20. Look, it has been since the first implementation of Smart UMS, blended learning in UMS, that we use 1732. And now we're supposed to have 40, 40, 20 long before in 2021. But now it's 2022 and we are moving to 2023. So in 2023, we are at the brakes. We cannot move anymore. So we have to go with 40, 40, 20. And somehow we managed to skip this PTG formula of 5, 40, 35, and 20. So we are not implementing this, we didn't implementing this, but we jump to 40, 40, 20 because we are at the brakes of implementing PTG in UMS. So this is the whole story. It's just something to share with you, all right? So, so can we move to the table with, all right, so a little bit on this one. Blended learning, what we have done as a supportive blended learning, 1732, where physical in person, real time, virtual teleconferencing, real time, replace in person, virtual, other real time. So this is what we've been doing. So there is what we did somehow when we are away attending conference, we just put everything online and to menggantikan us, to substitute us. That is wrong thing that we did. So we don't want to repeat that anymore. So we move to PTG, whereby we can do is a clear thing that we can replace us in physical. Thank you to 2 years of COVID lockdown and everything. So students are aware of this. Only question is now, since all the students have come back to the campus, so why do we have online? So these are the questions that are faced by most of the faculty, institute, and center. So we need to explain to them. The world is moving towards this thing. So we have to implement flexible learning, flexible teaching. So that is why this PTG, which the ministry has imposed on, we have to go with that. So no in-person, physical, real-time, anytime and anywhere concept has to be embraced by all of us in UMS in our teaching and learning activities. So this is just the definition. Can we move to the table, Zul? The table yang credit out of 2 credit hours, 3 credit hours, and 4 credit hours. Yes, this one. Okay. So this is let's go for 2 credit hours first. So this is the example of 2 credit hours. Since you don't have 2 credit hours anymore, but just as a brief one, it's still on 30% here. 40% and 50% columns, you can see that one, and the wages 40 40 20 is there regardless what is the credit hours of the course. The wages of 40 40 20 is there. We have to use 40 40 and 20. It's just we need to calculate lah. For the 2 credit hours it's a little bit different, for 3 credit hours it's a little bit different, and for 4 credit hours it's a little bit different. And also either we are going for 30%, 40%, or 50% is also different. Okay, basically these are all based on the student learning time SLT in our table 4. Right, so for 30% on the 2 credit hour courses, so your material teaching learning material or teaching material is only 10 hours, and 10 hours for the activity and 4 hours for the assessment, which is equal to 24 hours of learning time. That all means 4 weeks. These weeks are the same thing like what I have shown earlier in the table. So for 5 to 6 weeks or 7 weeks for 50%. The differences are only based on this one, the materials, the activities, and the assessment hours conducted. Okay, so next 3 credit hours. Sorry, 4 credit. I have mentioned about 3 credit hours. So now 4 credit hours. Right, for 4 credit hours, for courses with 4 credit hours, which equal to 160 hours SRT, the calculation is still here. See, 40, 40, 20. They are never changed at all because this is fixed. 30% is 19 hours for the learning material, 19 hours for the activities, teaching and learning activities, and 10 hours for the assessment for under 30% of total SLT, which is equal to 48 hours and 4 weeks. You see, the weeks are still the same, but the SLT hours is different based on PTG, 30%, 40%, or 50%. The hours here are different. These are the table. We will provide you this table for your reference. Don't worry about this one, because once we complete with all these roadshows, so information will be given to all in QMS, of course. Right. So is there any question regarding these tables? How do you determine the percentage of the SBL? Right, the determination of this percentage here, you mean the 40, 40, 20? Or the based on the 30%, 40%, or 50%? Okay. 30, 40, and 50, right? 30, 40, and 50 here, which one that you can choose, that what you mean, I suppose, yeah? So this is actually not PEP kuasa, not even as a lecturer, we also cannot choose this one, but we would strongly advise that this should be determined or fixed by the dekan or by the pengarah or by the kedekanan on top management. Those 3 4 people in management in the institute. Okay, so they 30% is wajib. We cannot run away from 30%. So some other you are moving to 40 or 50, that is determined by the pengarah. Okay, so a bit of sharing here. What we have decided in FPP, I'm from FPP, so we are decided, the decan has decided to go with 30, to fix with 30% only. But another 20%, 40 or 50 is allowed through application to dekan, only for those lecturers with jawatan pentadbiran lantikan universiti, I mean VC. So if they think that they need to go to 40%, they have to write to the dekan, to our dekan in FPP, and of course with justification and all this to apply for 40%. Has to be very clear in the beginning because it needed to be indicated in our table 4, and that table 4 needed to be endorsed in the program. Okay, good question. If SBL is decided as 30%, then what is the 70%? 70% is face-to-face. 30% is fully online. PTG, 70% is face-to-face. If you can go to 79% if it allowed by the institute or the pengarah, because that has been endorsed by the Senat. Senat say yes, we can go to 79%, not 80%, because if you hit 80%, that means 80% is ODL. So you are not PTG. We are talking here about PTG, not ODL. Does it answer your questions, Dr. Atira? Thank you so much. Right. So, is there any more questions regarding this aspect before I share with you a little bit on table 4? If there's none, Muzul, can we move to the table 4, please? Zul is helping me from the center. So, Zul is is ever ready there for you to know if you have problem about PEP, I mean not problem with PEP, problem with your ITEL or your things regarding the online teaching using our platform. So you may contact Zul. So here is an example of a course under PTG as an example I'm showing you here. So we have these two columns, face-to-face, and we have this non-face-to-face. So you may choose any of these courses. Let's say you have 10 topics to cover for 14 weeks. So you have to plan. For example, here, this is planned for management of occupational safety and health, this one. And next is risk management. It's planned for PTG. And accident compensation and worker welfare is also another topic. While the last topic is planned for PTG is current issues in occupational safety and health. So we have here. So this is the new table 4. But when it comes to table 4, I will not talk much about this one because I will leave this to PPK. This is not under PEP. So this is just an example that we can how we need to indicate that in our table 4. Sorry. Right, Zul, kita move to the awal sekali. Okay, here it goes. So here we have total SLT for teaching and learning. Of course, it has to be 84. Okay, this is 3 credit hours. Okay, this is 3 credit hours. And then mungkin kita pergi assessment. Okay, assessment here. This is based on your assessment lah. How you come about with your assessment, CLO1, CLO2, how many CLO that you have. Okay, or whatever CLO that you have. So you indicate this. So this one is, as I have mentioned earlier, summative or formative. So if you want to include any of these as a formative in the PTG, you may do that. So they are all come from continuous assessments or final exam or whatever that you plan for your course. So mungkin mana ya SRT summary ke? Yes. All right. So this is how it goes. 40-40-20. This is what I mean earlier. Although when we try to have 40-40-20 here, 40-40-20, the numbers is not actually somehow just not actually accurate, because we have to have this 120 hours, 84 hours, and all those things. Okay, so you might get this like this. 40.3, 40.3, 19.2. So assuming this is compiled to 40-40-20 lah. As long as not lesser than, too much less, let's say 19.3, okay, it can be accepted as 30%. So kalau 17 here, that is like very low if you are not hitting that almost 20%. So like 40 or 39.3 here, so it could be okay accepted as 40%. So these are all will be determined by PPKA, and it's not us to come up with the new or this is the latest, actually, the latest table 4, and also this one is also under TTDA, you know, and the most important thing is we are trying to use the PTG with a 40-40-20 formula here. Okay, so because we have to have 100 here, otherwise it won't go to that. No? So that's why you have this 40.3, 40.3, and 19.3 somehow. So these numbers, if we try to fix here, so somewhere up there will be changed. So it's quite complicated, these numbers, because they are need to be tally somehow here, this part and the other part. So yes, so I cannot say much about this one. It's just I'm just sharing that it need to be indicated in our table 4. So that I think that is all from me on this aspect of implementation, ITEL and its implementation. And so before that, I would like to one more time to inform everyone that PTG with Formula 40-40-20 will be only implemented in the next session, while ITEL is fully implemented in next semester 2. Yeah? And I understand that you have all your materials, all your documents or your contents, assessment, whatever you have in your Smart UMS. Don't worry, it's still there. It's just that Smart UMS version 3 will not be maintained at all because JTMK will focus on ITEL. All you have to do is, if you think that you need your content to be used in ITEL, you can send them over. Okay, meaning you have to back out and then transfer that into the ITEL. So this is a little bit complicated compared to what you did before in Smart UMS, whereby it's just back out and then just put it there. But here, since we are using two different Moodle platform, okay, Smart UMS version 3 and ITEL 4.0 platform. So these are two. It's like you are moving from one house to a new house. You take all your furniture, your sofa, your bed, your almari, whatever, put it in the truck and move that truck to the new house. So meaning to say you have to log in Smart UMS, backup everything, blah, 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 and then log into ITEL and transfer that. There are simple steps doing that actually. We will distribute that infographics step by step how to do that with simple explanation so that everyone can simply transfer those information, those content from Smart UMS 3 into the new Moodle platform 4.0 ITEL. Okay. For our current coursework, almost all subject have practical session. So I think many of us will be using 1732. Yes, so this need to be ini ya, Dr. Atira, meaning to say you have to let us know. So what are those courses that with practical session? Yes, you have to go with 1732, but we need to know. It need to be recorded so that it will not jeopardize or trouble at the end of the year when the audit is when we are doing the audit for the blended learning. And I think I'm not so sure. Do you have all everybody in IPB registered in ITEL platform yet? Have you registered your course in ITEL? If you have,
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
I think, IPB, I think we have registered all the courses that we offered this semester in ITEL. Yeah, we have registered all the courses.
Good. Wonderful news. So meaning to say you can log into ITEL now and start to
And use it,
transfer.
yes. Yeah.
But on the 21st, where the thought workshop will be conducted, we will focus more on the interactive elements of this teaching, learning, and activities, so that what you have in your smart EMF is just barely notes and words and sentences. It can be transformed in more interactive, fun, and interesting way, so that a student will find it interesting for them to engage more in their learning processes. So, do we have any more questions or comments or suggestions from IPB? Right. So I would like to show with you here my. Give me 1 minute. My course that I have. I cannot log in there. So give me somehow. Just let me have few more minutes. I will share with you my course that I have used in ITEL. Actually, this semester I have most of us in PEP are using ITEL already, and how I go about with what I mean by interactive and activities and all those things. So can you see my slide here? Yes. Okay. So this is my course this semester. I'm teaching children in troubled family. So basically my course is hybrid. So I have this link here. So every week that my student will just log into this link, and they will assess this. I have students from Indonesia and Vietnam and those places, international students, and they are not here in campus. So they are taking this course, and every week they just go in here, click on here, and they are in my course. And also, this link is available for the students here in UMS during my lecture. So if they feel that they sick of looking straight at me in front, so they can just log in and look at me from their tablets or from their laptop. So if we notice that earlier there is no icon for synopsis in the ITEL. So what I did is I turned the course synopsis into more graphic images here and interactive. This is about me. We have to explain who we are, and this is my CLO. So this is how I came about with my course synopsis, and this is my assessment rubric. I put it in this way so my student can access to the rubric anytime, any days and night, 24/7 during the semesters, and they will somehow work their assessment, their assignment based on which marks that they prefer. If they prefer only 1 to 2, so they can just work on this part. If they think like they need 9 to 10, so they can work on this part. So at least they know how their marks come from, or which direction that they are heading to. So the same goes to the other two assessment rubric as well. And this is the folder for the assignment submissions that I have created for them. I'm using this here icon, pink, under e-assessment. And I'm also using other platform, which is called Flipgrid. If you're not familiar with that, you can just Google what is Flipgrid. So I just recorded the instruction here, so they can just go in here through this link, or they can just scan the QR code, and this will bring them into Flipgrid. So in the Flipgrid, they will record their presentation using the Flipgrid, so they don't have to go into other platform. All they have to do is just log into ITEL, and they are all here in the ITEL. Their submissions, their assignment, all can be done through ITEL, meaning to say, this ITEL, I have developed my ITEL LMS as the hub of the course, so they don't have to go here and there to look for all those things. So I make it easier for them, so that they need to go in. Everyone who registered for this course have to go into this ITEL and log into, to Flipgrid, in order for them. If I have 105, I have 105 students here, 105 students, so I will have 105 participation in my ITEL. That hit the numbers of student engagement in my LMS. And I also have topical quizzes here, so meaning to say, of course, all of them have to be here. Otherwise, they won't get their mark, because all these quizzes marks will be accumulated into 20% of their overall semester marks. All right. So when all these sections, I have, if you look at it clearly, I have this section very clear. The introduction of the course, information of the course, assignment submission, sections, and quizzes. They are all come in section. And when all these parts have done, I move on to the module part. So below this, my student will know that below this are all the module that they can find for this course. So I have course 1. I'm using Journally. Thank you to Dr. Kenneth, who introduced me Journally. So I've been using Journally for almost 3 years now in my teaching and learning here for my course. So I have all this for them, and I also have a poster. So all this information I just transferred here, so easy for them to just read and remember. All right, I would like to show you with on this topic 3 that I have developed for them. So I have these are all the animation that just this you can find this easily. These templates are free, and of course there are some that you need to pay. So here is sorry. Okay. How to make my lesson teaching is more interactive is by having this something like this. So they can just go into this hyperlink, and it will take them to what I want them to know. I want them to know about this biological system theory, so they can read this here. So I am so sure that they will go here somehow. It's very sure because I have instead of here because I don't want them to read something else. I want them to read this one. So most of them have to go through and read this one. So I know that they have all the information from this page, and if I come up with a question for in their final exam taken from any of this, I know that they have read this one, and they can't blame me. I didn't teach. I didn't mention about that one. Okay, so they have it all here. All right. Okay, this one. This is what I mean. Okay. So beside the theories, I have also here all these listed for them to cater those students who are lazy to read. I have also embedded here video for them. So these are all done generally in my digital digital learning content. Okay, so these are the things. So they can just click any of these, so they can just read that. If they don't feel reading is too much for them, they prefer watching and reading. So I have this for them. So this is just a little bit of sharing that I have for you. And beside that, to increase their participation, I also have introduced badges. So, for example, here you are welcome to contribute your opinion in this forum. Please feel free to provide your positive input in the discussion, blah, blah, blah. How to prevent a family to fall into a broken family. Active participation with 3 to 5 input or responses will receive top contributor badge. So this badge will appear in their LMS. We can have that like a criteria, how, for example, this is one of my criteria here, and every time they log into their LMS, they will see their badge there. So I have, it's up to you how many badges that you are given to them, and I have other activities here. This is another badge that I also giving it to them, and it is fun. So some of our students love to collect all these badges. So knowing that if they are, when we were in Scout Wars, Girl Guides, Brownies, and all those Rogers or whatever it is, Rovers, for example. So our aim is to collect more badges. So and when we also see that some of our students love to collect buttons. So this could be an encouragement on how we could somehow encourage their engagement or participation in the ITEL. So I think that is all from me. It's 11 now and it's Friday. And is there any more questions that we can or comment or anything that we can share here? Yes, Dr. Wilson, we are not going for 40-40-20 yet. This 40-40-20 will be fully implemented in the next sessions. Thank you for registering all subjects in ITEL, and of course next semester is still on 1732, and hope that by the time we implement PTG, everyone will be familiar with ITEL. So that is all from me, and I would like to thank everyone in IPB for attending this session and or listening to this session later on from the recorded. And I would like to also thank you, Dr. Wilson, in making this roadshow a reality today, this morning, and hope to see the representative from IPB on the 25th, so that we can train all these mentors and so that they can go back to IPB and train other lecturers as well. So that's all from us from IPB, and thank you very much. Back to you, Dr. Wilson.
All right. Yeah, thank you, Encik Kamin, for your wonderful briefing and talk. So I pass the session to Dr. Mylene. for concluding remarks. Dr. Mylene, please.
Dr. Mylene, okay. How are you,
Hi,
Dr. Mylene?
Oh, good, good. Thank you so much for the comprehensive talk, Encik Amin and also Puan Eugenia. Yeah, of course, this blended learning we are still learning from time to time. Sometimes we have to thanks to COVID-19 as well because of the pandemic. It forced us to be in a situation that we have to learn. So what we can tell is that technology is very important. If we don't learn, we will be left behind. Just like during the pandemic, if we don't learn the technology, we cannot teach. Yeah. So, and again, nowadays, we have to move very fast to catch the technology. Otherwise, the students will, lose their interest in teaching. And thank you, Encik Amin, for sharing your ITEL. It's look very nice, very colorful, very engaging. It gives us some ideas on how to develop our own ITEL. In fact, for myself, when Dr. Wilson mentions that we have to move from Smart 3 to ITEL, this semester I have begun to use this platform. But yes, probably we still not able to achieve the 40-40-20 yet. But IPB, we all we learn together, and I encourage lecturers from IPB to start learning ITEL. If we do not know, we learn. We have Center of Blended Learning in UMS to guide us, and we also have our course coordinator, Dr. Wilson, to assist us from time to time. And I'm really interested to learn what we call that, the app, Genially app.
Genially
very,
platform.
very interesting. Yeah.
Yes. Just now, actually, we are work on ITEL platform. Eugenia also work from the ITEL platform, present from the ITEL platform. So that is how the presentation can be done on ITEL platform.
Is it a free
What
app?
difference? Just Eugenia is using Canva.
Oh, Canva, yeah.
Yes, and while I am using Genially, so you can see these two platforms can be actually supported by ITEL. ITEL can support most of the platform, other digital platform.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Maybe we can stay for a little bit while for photo session.
Yeah, sure.
Zul, can you with the photo, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
Semua buka kamera lah.
Okay, ready sudah? Saya lagi buka kamera.
Dr. Cahyo belum?
Okay, ready semua? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, freestyle. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to all lecturers as well who attended this session.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. So we will end this session here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson.